Coach JMO here. We're about to get into some sleep tips, but before we start, I gotta let you know something very important. When it comes to sleep, what you do on a daily basis is gonna be up to you, right? I have no say over this. I can't change your behavior. I can't change the way you live your day-to-day life. I can't change anything about you. I can only give you information that you can then use on your own accord to figure out your own life. So there's the disclaimer. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do, but also, if you do something that I tell you to do, that's your decision. And some of these things I have done before myself, but I'm a different person. Who knows? Different strokes for different folks is what I always say. When it comes to sleep, there are multiple ways to optimize your sleep. The first and the most important way I'll tell everybody is to get your fundamentals down, is to view sunlight in the morning and view sunlight at night. View light at the end of the day. So view the sunset. Go outside during the end of the day. Go outside during the day. If you're in a cave all day, if you're stuck inside some kind of situation where you don't have any light, if you're in your little gamer cave or whatever you're doing, or you're working in an office all day, make sure you get outside. Now, you do get tired still. You're able to get good sleep. There are people who have been living in caves. There have been studies done where people are in caves, they get no sunlight. They're still okay because their body has a natural clock. But in order to make sure that clock is set properly, you need to view sunlight. So viewing sunlight is going to help your circadian clock and help you get tired at night more, and also help you in the morning wake up. A second thing you can do is using heat and ice to your benefit. The cold will help heat your body up, funny enough, and the heat will help cool your body down. So you want cold towards the morning to wake you up, or before you need an activity with a lot of energy, before exercising, before speaking, before doing a hard bout of work. And then you also want heat, especially before bed, like a hot shower or a sauna. And then that will allow your core temperature to decrease because your body is trying to balance out the external heat. And when your core temperature decreases, it's easier for you to fall asleep. So that being said, make sure you're in a room that is cold. Don't go in a room where you're sweating buckets and you're burning up like the Jonas Brothers. You want a room that is going to be nice and cool. Now, it's harder for some people who live in areas where they don't have air conditioning, or there's a lot of hot weather and it's really hard to stay cool. Keeping the windows open, having fans, having anything that allows your body to feel the sense of cooling, and not using sheets, using minimal sheets if possible. That's going to be the best case scenario. There are ways to figure out how to stay cool in bed. Personally, in college, I used to take ice and a fan because I didn't have air conditioning. It was hot. It's hotter than Hades there. And I used to take a fan and ice cubes, and I would blow the fan on the ice cubes. I don't even know if that worked, but in my mind, at least it felt like I was doing something. So therefore, I was able to get better sleep, I hope. But when it comes to sleep supplements, the big ones you hear about are magnesium. Now, magnesium glycinate is probably the best when it comes to sleep. Magnesium citrate is also good, but it also gives you a little disaster pants in case you take too much. You don't want too much magnesium citrate. There's a reason they call it magnesium citrate, okay? And the important part with magnesium is taking a little bit and taking it before bed. Now, glycinate is something that can also be taken before bed and doesn't have that disaster pants side effect. Magnesium bicarbonate, however, is not going to be something you need to take before bed, but it can be taken throughout the day to make sure you have good magnesium levels. As well as magnesium, you can also take something called pearl powder. Pearl powder helps with calming the body. It's a cooling herb that provides a cooling effect for your body, and it's great to take throughout the day, but it also helps later on in the day, even if you take it midday or in the morning, with the sleep quality. Sometimes I actually personally take it before bed, along with a few other things that I'm going to mention here too. And those things are functional mushrooms, most specifically reishi mushroom. Really helps calm you down. If you're stressed out, if you're very anxious, if you worked out a lot, if you had a stressful day, reishi mushroom really helps calm your system, and it's natural, and it's not going to cause any hallucinations. So that's good. I also use lion's mane mushroom to help with my brain health when I'm about to go to sleep. Now, this is something that people who have issues going to sleep may have some benefit from, like insomnia, for example. Now, it's not going to fix everything. It's not going to fix everyone. Like I said earlier, different strokes for different folks, but these supplements will help your body naturally get to sleep better and get to sleep longer. So one more thing that I recommend before bed is making sure that you block out lights in your room, making sure that you're not in a room with a lot of bright lights, even a night light, making sure you close your shades. Now, does it have to be pitch black? I personally don't think it has to be pitch black, but the important part is to not see any light when you close your eyelid. That's the most important part. Getting light into your eyes when you're sleeping is not going to be very beneficial for you. So make sure when you sleep, if you're sleeping during the daytime, you close the shades and cover your eyes with something like an eye mask if that's comfortable to you, or you sleep at nighttime, you can close the shades as well and make sure all the lights in the house or the room are off, and make sure you don't have any of that on the eyelids getting into your eyes while you're trying to sleep. But sleep is the base. There's sleep, then there's nutrition, then there's exercise. Sleep is at the base of that. It's the base of the pyramid. It's a little, it's the bottom of your health. When you get your sleep right, everything else will become a lot more easier, and it'll also make you hornier. So that's an extra perk right there. Getting good sleep is super important for men and women, and it not only helps with your sexual health, but it also helps with your quality of life and your energy levels during the day, as well as your biomarkers and your food cravings during the day. So get good sleep, use those tips, try new things, and remember, do whatever makes you feel good and whatever works for you. Don't worry about what everybody else is saying. However, there are things that you should look out for. For example, don't drink alcohol before bed. Even if it helps you fall asleep, don't try and get yourself to sleep unnaturally. Unless you're on a pharmaceutical medication that you need because you have an issue, do not do things that are going to help you get sleep and help you fall asleep in the short term, but that are going to damage your health in the long term. So always do the thing that is delayed gratification. Always go for something that is going to benefit you in the long term and not going to be instant gratification where you're going to have to pay it back tenfold in the long run.